Now, they have an agreement, but they're not going to need to go to the July meeting. And the July meeting, I believe, is the second week of July. And so Roland said, there's the property access issue and, the development of that agreement to a point where they could take it in front of the board. CDOT's also worried now about the effects of that project on our summer tourism. There are elements of that project that would affect the flow on 7th Street. You guys probably aren't aware of it. The 8th Street Bridge in its current condition won't take the anticipated traffic from the detour. So they were going to take off all of that asphalt and repair the bridge deck before they instituted that full detour. So there's some work that needs to occur on the bridge, and I don't know what the duration of that work is.
But the superstructure is okay. It's just the deck that needs to be repaired.
Yeah, but deep repairs on the deck. They need
Can-
to take off all the asphalt.
Can they do that work in single lane?
They can, and I think that's what they're anticipating, is taking that bridge down a single lane at a time, but it'll definitely have traffic impacts.
Do they have an estimate as to the length of period that one lane will be closed in the bridge?
I didn't get that information from Roland, and maybe at the next meeting that's something we can.
Well, the milling can go fast, but what do they have to do underneath it? That's concerning.
I don't think it's a U-bit operation. I think they're taking off the deck altogether, all of the asphalt, and making repairs to the membrane that's down below.
Is it, because that improvement to the bridge is only going to be necessary when all of Highway 82 is running over that bridge. It's not necessary today.
Well, that bridge shows up on our bridge inspection report that we get every 2 years. And they have identified that there are, they didn't do a full structural investigation, but CDOT has. So they've taken it a step further than the folks that do the bridge inspections. That unit, I think, was Stantec this year, or SEC, I can't remember who did our bridge inspections. But anyway, it does have issues that have been identified today, and not only under the detour traffic, but in general.
It sure sounds like they're trying to,
What's that?
it sounds like they're trying to optimize their schedule.
And I think there's some
Look
of
at our
that
expense.
probably too. They did say that it was possible to do some of the work offline in between the time that they get the agreement approved by RAPTA and Memorial Day, or I'm sorry, Labor Day, not Memorial Day.
The upside is if there are structural things that are new to us, if they will pay for them as part of the project, that's a good thing. So,
I thought that an upgrade on that bridge was a good
I'm
idea.
sorry?
It does help our bottom line.
For them to do that work.
Maintenance of that
Well, I guess I was just thinking, can we get that detour in and then do the bridge closure at a more opportune time? I'm not sure when that more opportune time is, probably, who knows?
Yeah, before the full closure,
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
between, I could ask Roland about that. We could ask at next week, or at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Do we have to do that under,
Current-
before the
Current
full
traffic
detour?
conditions, yeah.
And they may be looking at the efficiency of mobilization, mobilizing to do all of it at once.
Perhaps, I would suspect though that, I understand Gould is going to do all the earthwork and the temporary road construction.
That's what
I'm assuming Gould is not doing the bridge rework. Are they doing that as well?
I don't think we know yet who the
Okay.
contractor will be.
So it may be a different contractor altogether, in which case then it may not matter about the mobilization issue.
Do we want, if they're going to come to the next meeting, do we want to get our questions to them ahead of time?
That would be a good idea, yeah. So can that bridge work be delayed to another time and get the 8th Street temporary connection in sooner?
Yeah, do we know if they resolved the last of the right-of-way issues?
I'm not sure that all of the right-of-way issues have been resolved. They're making progress.
Have they, do we know the status of their right-of-way across the Butler Ends property?
I don't know for sure, but I believe the remaining issue is just this agreement with RAPTA. Roland didn't mention other entities.
It would be really helpful if if we knew for the fact that that was finalized, then we can, my understanding is, begin negotiations ourselves for a permanent.
Yeah. We were waiting for them to finish
Yeah.
their negotiations. We didn't want to muck up that process.
Right.
I will, that'll be on the list of questions for
Okay.
On the website, look right now.
We're certainly anxious for that connection.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be done,
Sooner than
we were
later.
told it'd be done by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. I've
No, none
been
of us
relaying
really
that
believe
schedule.
that.
I know I've changed my estimate 3 different times now with the county. It's kind of getting to be embarrassing.
Yeah. But it's important, this quagmire we've got going on around the government center here is.
Well, the other side of that too is we're gonna run out of weather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
it'll be snowing here before you
And
know
in
it.
regard to that, I know that they're opening up 7th Street for the Strawberry Days Parade in both directions, is my understanding. Can we have some discussions with them about the status of that and how long I know that they're, at least let me go by what I understood initially. Initially, they were going to close it in one direction for a longer period of time, and there's going to be one lane open, I think, from west to east for most of the bridge construction, but then something changed and they decided we're going to close the whole thing for pretty much 2 years. Can we revisit that discussion?
We can. You know, I've got to say, I argued long and hard to have them only close it for safety critical overhead work. But, you know, as a part of the beginnings of the process, and, you know, I think that Drew was trying to help them, you know, with all of the construction, you know, in terms of parking down here at our wastewater plant and with 7th Street. And at that time, we kind of lost the battle on 7th Street, and you know, somehow that got given away.
And I recognize that while they're building the elevator tower, that may be a time when they're going to have cranes or whatever out there and they're going to need to close it. But
Yeah.
seems like a lot of the utility work is getting close to being done down there. Is that right?
I think that most of the utility work, but they are going to begin, you know, they've got those big footers to build right underneath the bridge, and they're, as soon as,
The ones that are on the south side of 7th Street?
Main streets.
yeah, right in between the buildings there, we've got those large footers.
Okay.
So that'll be, you know, there'll be some significant work down there. But in terms of crane work and needing to close 7th Street, you know, I think the tower will probably be part of that. Large girders, we talked about
Yeah.
large girder delivery
Yeah.
at the last meeting.
It would just
Those
be,
are questions that we can ask.
yeah, it'd just be really good if we could figure out any time that could be reopened, it would be have a benefit, I think.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I think,
I drove westbound on it today,
Did you?
and it actually,
Did you have the?
Legally?
You didn't go through 2 flaggers to do it?
nope, it actually appears right now to be open in both directions, but I suspect
That's for Strawberry Days.
that as soon as this weekend's over, it'll probably close again.
It's scheduled to close the 20th according to my update here on the Grand Avenue Bridge Public Information.
Yeah, and we discussed in Friday's meeting that the contractor doing the elevator work is actually mobilizing very soon into that area. And they haven't finished, Gould's not finished with that water main work yet.
Yeah.
As well on the east side.
yeah, we need to do tires over there.
There's a lot going on down there.
Okay. All right. Anything else on 8th Street? Does anyone have any questions about that?
You know, kind of bring up one thing, and this is backing up a little bit, but when you talk about partnering with the county possibly on the FMLD, I know we're backing up a little, but we've talked about a multi-surface, multi-story parking structure on the west side of Grand and partnering with Garfield County to build that structure. And I think that's important to have show up sooner than later. So maybe it's a number 11 and I don't know.
Or at the very least,
Just throwing it out.
Just because it's on the list means we could potentially, maybe we ought to add both the parking structure on the north side of Grand and a parking structure on
Well, I think the one on the north side will be us, and it'll be businesses, and it'll be the one on this side over by the government facility, hopefully we'd be partnering with Garfield County. So that would just be,
Seventh in
Yes,
Colorado.
yeah, but I
or
would say.
somewhere over here. I
Down,
don't-
parking structure between the confluence and Grand Avenue and downtown, I don't know how you.
We've had those discussions already with them, and
And we, yeah, we.
it's a way to partner.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
And at the very least, it should be on the list so that we could pursue funding for it.
I'll add.
Well, and certainly there's a great potential for partnering there, Garfield County, CMC,
Us.
us.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
I guess if anyone has any other questions, they think that in the next couple of days, send it to us.
All right.
They can be prepared as possible.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.